Have you ever seen your cat staring at an empty corner at night, hissing, with its fur standing on end as if it were facing an invisible enemy? Or have you noticed your cat strangely starting to follow you, never leaving your side like a protector, when a sudden sense of restlessness fills your home? According to the teachings of Padre Pio, these behaviors are never a coincidence. Cats are silent guardians given to us by God to protect us against the dark forces we cannot see. Hell is a real danger, a realm that constantly seeks opportunities to tempt and destroy humans, and Padre Pio was one of the saints who experienced this spiritual warfare most intimately throughout his life. So, what role do cats play in this battle? Why does the devil fear cats? And have you ever thought about why having a cat in your home is critically important for your spiritual safety? In this video, I will explore the protective role of cats against the powers of hell in light of Padre Pio's teachings on spiritual warfare, sharing startling testimonies and the true mission of these silent guardians in your home. If you want to learn this and start seeing your cat through a completely different lens, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because what I am about to share could radically change your life. Padre Pio was one of the rare saints who had direct encounters with the devil throughout his life. It has been said many times, both by himself and those around him, that the devil physically attacked him, entered his cell to beat him, and constantly tried to terrify him. However, Padre Pio provided deep insights into spiritual warfare by sharing what he learned from these experiences with others. According to Padre Pio, the devil is constantly looking for ways to enter our homes. Negative thoughts, domestic conflicts, sin, and spiritual neglect are all gateways for him, but God does not leave us defenseless against these threats. He protects us through angels, the intercession of saints, and sometimes through silent guardians we don't even notice in our daily lives. Cats are one of the most well-known examples of these silent guardians. Padre Pio once said while talking to a disciple, "God's protection comes in unexpected ways, sometimes as an angel, sometimes as a prayer, and sometimes in the form of a four-legged guardian waiting silently in your home." This statement has been interpreted by many as a reference to cats. Pio believed that animals were created not just to keep us company, but also for a spiritual purpose. There are strong beliefs in ancient Catholic traditions that cats specifically have the ability to perceive and disturb demonic entities. An illustrative example of this is the story of a family living in Pittsburgh who experienced constant unrest in their home. In Michael and his family's house, doors would open by themselves at night, strange noises were heard, and their young daughter Sarah was constantly having terrible nightmares. The family consulted a priest, and the priest came to bless the house. However, the problems continued even after the blessing. One day, their neighbors gifted them a cat. This cat, whom they named Smokey, began acting differently from the very first night he arrived. He stood guard in front of Sarah's bedroom door and would hiss while staring at the same corner every night. Initially worried, the family then noticed a change. Sarah's nightmares stopped after the cat arrived. The strange noises decreased, and the house felt lighter and more peaceful. Later, when Michael spoke with a devotee of Padre Pio, he learned that cats are a natural defense system against demonic entities. Cats can see these beings, feel their energy, and disturb them with their very presence. That is exactly what Smokey was doing. He was protecting Sarah from evil spirits. According to Padre Pio's teachings, the devil is a proud being and hates situations where he feels humiliated. This is why cats irritate the devil. Their silent presence is an affront to him. It is a situation the devil's pride cannot stomach, being thwarted by a small, soft, harmless-looking creature. Furthermore, a cat's purr emits vibrations at a specific frequency, and this vibration is incompatible with negative energy. Padre Pio taught that sound vibrations could create powerful effects in the spiritual world. Sounds produced during prayer, hymns, and the ringing of bells are all holy vibrations that drive away dark forces. A cat's purr works in a similar way. By creating a low frequency but constant vibration, it creates an environment where evil spirits cannot find comfort. So, when your cat purrs next to you, don't just think they are happy, perhaps they are forming a protective shield against an invisible danger. And this frequency-based purring phenomenon has been proven by science many times. Another point Padre Pio particularly emphasized is the importance of the nighttime hours. He used to say that the hours after midnight are when demonic activities are most intense. During these hours, people are vulnerable, asleep, and more spiritually open. This is exactly when the true duties of cats begin. Have you ever noticed? While your cat sleeps calmly during the day, it starts patrolling the house at night. It walks through hallways, checks corners, and looks out windows. Padre Pio described this behavior as silent sentinels being on duty at night. Cats form a first line of defense against dark forces that might try to enter your home during these hours. If there is an invisible entity or negative energy, they act immediately. They hiss, their fur stands on end, and they approach that area aggressively. This behavior marks that area as occupied, and the evil spirit retreats, feeling disturbed. Another striking example is the story of Patricia, who lived in New Orleans and discovered her house had a disturbing past. Patricia was a tenant in an old house and constantly felt strange things. There were cold spots that never warmed up, unexplained shadows, and a deep sense of unease. One day, she found a cat on the verge of death on the street and took him in. This black cat, named Shadow, went directly to the coldest and most disturbing room in the house on his first night. He stayed there for hours, sometimes hissing, sometimes just watching intently. Patricia was very scared at first, but then she noticed a change. That room didn't feel so cold anymore, the disturbing feeling had diminished. When she spoke to a priest, he told her that cats could function as spiritual cleansers. With their presence, they transform negative energies and disturb evil spirits. That is exactly what Shadow was doing. He was spiritually cleansing the house. Now let's look at another important aspect of how cats provide protection: the power of the eyes. Padre Pio taught that the eyes are the window to the soul and can see spiritual realities. Cats' eyes are special. They see in the dark, detect movements, and notice things we cannot perceive. But they see not only physically, but also spiritually. Priests who were present at exorcism rituals reported bringing cats with them during the sessions. They observed that the cats would track the demonic entity, following it with head movements as if they could see it physically. When a cat stands and stares at an empty corner, there might actually be something there, something you cannot see. A quote from Padre Pio summarizes this beautifully: God has given pure beings the grace to see the truth. Children, angels, and animals see things we cannot. A story told by Father Thomas, a priest in Philadelphia, powerfully demonstrates this truth. When he went to a family for an exorcism, there was a cat in the house. During the ritual, the cat became extremely aggressive, approached a specific corner of the room, and hissed insistently at it. When Father Thomas sprinkled holy water on that corner, the cat suddenly calmed down and moved away as if it had won a victory. After the ritual, the family confirmed that corner was exactly where they felt the most unease. The cat had shown exactly where the evil spirit was. Father Thomas later told the family, "That cat was my best assistant. He detected the enemy before I did." Padre Pio also taught that the protective role of cats is not limited to demonic entities. They also work against negative energies used by the devil in daily life, such as anger, jealousy, hatred, and depression. These are all emotional doorways the devil uses to enter homes. Cats are extremely sensitive to these energies. When there is a fight in your home, your cat probably disappears or retreats to another room. This is because it needs to step away for a moment to absorb and transform that negative energy. When it returns, it is usually peaceful and calm because it has completed its mission. The story of David and Linda, a married couple in Boston, illustrates this perfectly. The couple was constantly fighting and on the verge of divorce. There was a constant atmosphere of tension in their home. One day, Linda found an injured cat and brought it home. After the cat, named Whiskers, recovered and stayed with them, David and Linda's fight strangely decreased, the tension eased. When they told a therapist about this, the therapist recommended a book containing the teachings of Padre Pio. The book explained how cats transform negative energy. David and Linda realized that Whiskers was not just an ordinary pet, he was a spiritual mediator who saved their marriage. According to Padre Pio's teachings, there are some important practices we can follow while living with cats. First, pay attention to your cat's behavior. If it refuses to go into a certain room, cleanse that room spiritually. Sprinkling holy water, praying, and opening windows to let in light and air are good starting points. Second, if your cat is patrolling at night, you should never stop it. It is doing its duty and protecting you. Third, when your cat hisses or stares at a certain spot, pray specifically for that area. You can say, "In the name of the Lord Jesus, I cast out all evil from this house. Through the intercession of Padre Pio, I call upon the angels to protect this home." Furthermore, Padre Pio suggested ways to strengthen spiritual protection at home. Placing holy water at the entrance, hanging a crucifix, praying regularly, and especially praying to Saint Michael the Archangel were very important to him. Your cat is also part of this protection system. Blessing your cat and thanking God for this gift increases its protective power. A simple prayer could be, "My God, thank you for giving me this little creature. Bless it and strengthen it in its protective mission. Through the intercession of Padre Pio, protect this house from all evil. Amen." One of Padre Pio's deepest teachings was this: the devil suffers the punishment of his pride, God defeats him with small, ordinary-looking things. The purity of a child, the power of a prayer, and the loyalty of an animal, these are weapons the devil's pride cannot stomach. This is exactly what cats are, one of those weapons. They look small, silent, and harmless, but they have a powerful effect in the spiritual world. An event in Italy involving Padre Pio directly confirms this. A woman in San Giovanni Rotondo was experiencing constant disturbing events in her home. When she consulted Padre Pio, he told her, "Bring a pure heart into your home." The woman wasn't sure what he meant, but she eventually adopted a cat. Shortly after, the disturbing experiences stopped. When she went to thank Padre Pio, the saint smiled and said, "Do you see, God's protection sometimes comes with fur and claws." Finally, an important point Padre Pio reminds us of: cats are helpers, but the true protection comes from God. Cats are a tool, not the goal. That we should not rely on them alone, but rather rely on God's protection through them. A regular prayer life, participation in the sacraments, confession, and asking for the intercession of the saints remain our fundamental spiritual defenses. Cats complement and strengthen this defense, but they can never replace it. If you have watched my video this far, you are probably looking at your cat with very different eyes now. They are not just sweet companions, they are guardians given to you by God, silent warriors against dark forces. While an invisible war rages in the spiritual world, your cat may be fighting on the front lines on your behalf. So, approach your cat with gratitude, take good care of them, and honor their protective role. If you have ever experienced unexplained strange behaviors from your cat, such as hissing at specific places or following you at night, please share them in the comments. your story might help someone else understand their cat better. May God protect you, may Padre Pio's intercession be upon you, and may your cats always be on duty.